Oh gosh. I mean, we were up 10-0 2 years ago.
Go look it up. Go look it up. The in 2009 it was the 38-34 game, but that was Whipple. But then when Jimbo took over at 2010, it was 45-17. I think it was in Miami.
No, Gold's first year was a close game. That was when there was
His first game was I think 23-19 or something like that, and then it was 35-20, 33, 31-20, something like that down there, and then last year was 45-14. Jed Fish, and I guess it would have been his 2 years, scored 19 and 20 points. So that definitely wasn't lighting up.
But he got a job as the OC for the Jaguars.
Okay, but here's the bigger point though. That's one coach. My point is, how many coaches on Miami staff right now are in their second, third, or fourth year ever coaching the positions that they're coaching? Like you have your wide receivers coach used to be your tight ends coach. Your new Hurley Brown.
Okay. How about our tight end coach? He's been coaching tight ends for how many years?
Okay, that's your tight ends coach, and then your
how about Art Kehoe? He's got 5 now championship rings.
I know Art Kehoe. I know Art Kehoe, but then like Hurley Brown, this is his first year ever coaching line. I know he played and coached defensive backs, but he's never coached linebackers.
Hold on. I'll answer your question right there. Who runs the defense? Who's the quarterback of the defense?
Airman.
The true quarterback of the defense.
Well, it depends. It depends.
Who's the true quarterback of the defense?
Historically, it's the middle linebacker. It's the middle linebacker.
It's not the linebacker. It's the safeties. The linebackers call out the calls for the front, but who has the authority to call an audible or change the defensive alignment? The safety.
Oh, well, that will go back to the safety. Yes.
The DB coach. So the DB coach has to know the entire defense, front, back, left to right, in order to be able to teach that to their DBs. So moving down from a DB to a linebacker coach is an easy transition.
But Hurley Brown wasn't your defensive backs coach. He was your running back coach.
No. What I'm saying is he has the technical ability to coach linebackers because he knows defensive philosophies and he's coached and played the position on defense at a high level.
I would disagree from the stand. He played defensive back, correct? Or am I wrong?
He played DB, yes.
Okay, well then I would disagree because everything from your reads, where your eye, your placement, your steps, everything is different from a linebacker, from a DB to a linebacker. Everything is different. Reading the pulling guard, reading the fullback, whether you scrape or whether you slide, how to react to play action.
The DB has to know that.
Well, you also have D'Onofrio and Golden watching him. I mean, they're not going to let it just go.
No, I'm not. No, again, you guys are missing my point. I'm not sitting here saying.
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, you're trying to make the point that this is his first year, so he should be inexperienced. The man played for over a decade and coached for over a decade on a defensive side of the ball. If you're a DB and you don't know what the other members of the defense are doing, in particular the people in front of you, because if you don't know where your linebacker is going to go, then no, you can't anticipate where you need to be filling. If you're playing downhill as a safety and you misread the linebacker, guess what? That's 6. Somebody just took it to the house. Plain and simple.
No, I understand that, but in terms of playing,
I'll prove my point. That's what happened last year with Freeman. Our safeties didn't know what they were doing, and they weren't playing the right way, and that's why Freeman had those long runs. Because Freeman's not fleet of foot. He's not a fast running back. He should have been run down. But if you're out of position, you can't run someone down.
But reading the linebacker as a defensive back versus linebackers reading their particular keys, whether it be the guard pulling, the center trapping, all of those type of it makes for it's just different. I will put it like that.
So you don't think that he knows all that? I mean, he's been playing for how many years and coaching for how many years? He's got to know that.
but he's never coached it. That's not to say he's going to be good or bad. It's just he's just never coached it. That's my whole point. I'm not saying Coley is going to be a bad quarterback.
So what's your knock on Ice Harris? What's your knock on Ice Harris? I know you got a knock on Ice Harris.
No, everything for me, all of it is a wait and see, and the same thing with Jeremy Pruitt. You can go back and listen to our podcast from last year. I was in a wait and see mode. That's my whole point. I just don't think you can say that these coaches are going to do a good job. I don't think you can say they're going to do a bad job. It's just let's wait and see.
On the offensive side, they've been doing a good job. On the defensive side, not so much.
FSU caller, I just got hit up on the Facebook. I think it's NJ Florida Kane. He'll be calling in 2 minutes. I don't know. He's a little upset what you're saying, and he'll be calling. I think he's mad at you, man.
Mute on.
So, am I supposed to start
you just pissing off all the fucking fans.
I don't know. You thought, hey, FSU caller, you thought Ray was mad? Oh, wait until this guy calls now. He's pissed off.
That's cool. And listen, if we're talking, I don't do the yelling and screaming thing. That's just not what I do. Now, if we want to sit here and have a conversation, and we're like me and the gentleman that are talking now, we're point counterpoint. I understand his point. He understands mine.
NJ's upset.
Hey, let me ask you a question though. With the Ice Harris move and the move to linebacker coach, I mean, how about in recruiting? Let's go to the important part. Recruiting. We're going to kill you on recruiting now.
I don't know why you say that. I mean, here's
what do you
the
mean?
argument.
We got Ice Harris recruiting South Florida. Like, you think Jimbo's going to beat Ice Harris?
Oh, we got to call it.
This is what I always say.
Well, why am I sitting here listening to some Miami fans bitch and moan about Florida State? Why not spend some more time on a team y'all might actually have a chance of keeping up with, like Duke? You're not going to beat Florida State this year. Worry about your own
side. How about you worry
of
about beating Tennessee or somebody? Tennessee or South Carolina or Clemson. How about that?
Those are no problems. Those are no problems. That's being taken care of. But
got a Georgia fan talking shit. Hey, y'all better worry about Clemson week 1.
You've been surpassed by Duke.
Hold on, you guys have run over.
Hey, there's no traffic. Let's go for one.
You've been surpassed by Duke.
Hold on. Didn't y'all lose the UCF before?
In football. I'm talking about football now.
Did you all not lose the UCF? UCF?
You talking about 2 years ago now?
In a year. We never lost no UCF. Oh. They're like
I thought we were going to talk about this year, though?
Oh, well, no one's played no one this year, have they?
Right, I'm asking. Can y'all keep up with Duke this year? I'm asking.
I mean, we'll have a better record than Georgia. I bet that.
You know what? We're going to beat Duke this year.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
No problem.
I'll be at that game.
We're going 11-1.
Anomaly, and that's it.
11-1.
That's it.
We're going 11-1. That's what we're going.
Okay. Who's the loss to?
I'm not going to say the name, but we're going to rematch them.
Yeah, you know who the loss. They won't say it, but you know who the loss is to.
Well, we're going to beat them.
I think Miami have a good team this year. Really, I really think Miami have a good team this year. In all seriousness, I think y'all have a good year.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. I agree with what some of the quote unquote experts are saying, that Miami will have a better team, but may not have as good a record as they had last year.
How is that? You tell me how that is. Because North Carolina is not beating us. Duke's not beating us. Virginia Tech's not beating us. We're not losing to any team in the Coastal. So you tell me who we're losing to.
Yeah, the ACC is loaded with cupcakes.
I'll tell you right now. You know,
Louisville.
Hands down, I think we lose to Florida State twice in close games.
Oh no, I'm not buying that one. We're going 1-1.
And like I said, in close games, or if not, then we split the games. We beat them once and then lose to them in the championship, or win and then beat them in the championship. Either way.
Well, give me the second one. I want to win the second one. They can have the first one.
But like I said, as I said earlier,
good luck, guys.
As I said earlier, this team, it's a different team because they're all hungry. Hell, even Al Golden dropped like 20, 30 pounds because he knows, okay? No, seriously, if you look at him, he's trim, he's angry. Look at his interviews. Yeah, he's agitated because he's.
They should be. I mean, they should be angry. Just like
Absolutely, and another reason, and I'll tell you right now, you know what this all goes back to? This all goes back to the horrible performance against Louisville, and I can honestly say, we were outcoached in that game and we weren't prepared, and I'll tell you why, because it also had to do with Stephen Morris, because maybe it's his aptitude or what he's able to absorb in a short amount of time. I don't know, but there's no reason that when Louisville went to a psycho front, that psycho front should have been that effective. Charlie Strong has been running that same defense since he was at South Carolina. If
so
you
then,
pull
can I interject then? Wouldn't part of that also come back to James Coley as your offensive coordinator?
No, it wouldn't come back to James Coley as our offensive coordinator because, as I mentioned, I'm looking at Stephen Morris and saying, you know what? His ability to absorb new material may not have been there. As
I don't think it was because Golden didn't even want him to change the terminology. So that's why I was questioning that.
But if you're sitting there, if you can watch the game from your living room or from the stands, and you can say, with the chaotic front that Louisville was doing and having it work that much to that great psycho front, okay, to the psycho front, and have it work throughout the entire game for the most part. At some point,
it's not something if you don't have the adjustments for a hot read in your repertoire already for it, then it's not something you can fix on the fly if your quarterback doesn't have that aptitude to say, okay, you know what, I can take the short read, take a quick 3-step drop and it's gone.
Here's an example. If you watch the preseason game the other night, Morris goes in there and just screwed the whole game up for the Jaguars. I mean, Morris, he had all the arm strength, all that, but his brains just didn't make the plays.
I guess that's what it's bottom line.
If you've ever taught a class or taught a seminar, there's going to be some people who get it, some people don't. As a good teacher, you have to figure out how to reach that person and reach that student that's not getting what you're teaching and change your method. But the problem is if you don't have the appropriate amount of time to figure out how to get through to that student, guess what? You just got to put a Band-Aid on it and try and make it work. And that's what they did.
But you had a month to prepare for that game. And like you said, Charlie Strong had been running that front since South Carolina.
Okay.
I mean that game we
were
outcoached.
That's why I said we were outcoached.
We were outcoached. I mean, they had more intensity than us. They wanted to be there, and what's crazy is we pretty much pulled the USC from the year before when they played Georgia Tech. We should have been ready to play. I mean, 2 years, no bowl game. We should have been there, hungry as hell. And I put it on Golden, man. It was all on him. That's why I think this year is a big year for him.
Let me ask a question. Regardless of who the quarterback is, whether it's Heaps or Kaya, like what's the offensive identity? What's the game plan that Miami is going into the season with? Run the ball, quick passes, intermediate passes, get the ball in your playmaker's hands.
It's going to be wide open.
It is.
They
have Golden. I mean, they have Duke in the slot.
Everything, including the kitchen sink, and everybody.
Okay, but they're going for it. They're not. So I know I listened to an interview. I don't know. I guess it might have been right after the Penn State thing where, Al Golden kind of insinuated that part of the defensive struggle was because the offense scored too fast.
Look, let me tell you something.
But y'all the interview I'm talking about, right?
No, I know. No, he's been saying that for a while. You know what that is?
Okay.
I'll be the first one to admit it. Truth is truth, okay? Al Golden is an articulate coach, and he's a CEO. And every CEO's job is to do damage control. The same way Jimbo Fisher stands up there and downplays Winston raping this girl.
Well,
okay,
because he didn't rape her, but go ahead.
Look, let me tell you something, okay?
We can talk about that if you want.
I think it's called, there's acquaintance rape, there's statutory rape, okay? Call it whatever you want.
And then there's no rape.
I know you. And then there's, guess what? Okay, let me ask you. I'll put this to bed right now. You're in the middle of having sex with a woman and she whispers no in your ear.